468. Then for your top 5 overall rate of gain, in 5th place is Trenton Adams with an average daily gain of 1.81, tag 500. In 4th place is Gage Roush with an average daily gain of 1.84, tag 463. In 3rd place is Bradley Roush with an average daily gain of 1.87, tag 417. In 2nd place, our first competitive break, 2 pound per day mark, is Gage Roush with tag 462. And your champion overall rate of gain is Gage Roush with tag 461, 2.1 pounds per day. Please give a hand to all of our average daily gain exhibitors. I would also like to thank Georgetown FFA for sponsoring both the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place trophies for the average daily gain contest, and Georgetown Marble and Granite for sponsoring the champion overall award.
I saw that. Blaine was so proud of himself. He made this. See if Mom wants it. Did you come on? Since you sat there? Yeah. So, but that's since you did that. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't think about it. Alright, so
I would also like to take this time to let you know that with us today we have our fair photographer, Haley and Photography. All the photos taken this week will be available for free digital download on her website at haleyandphotography.shootproof.com. haleyandphotography.shootproof.com. Thank you to First State Bank, our one-stop shop, and John Wood Insurance Agency for sponsoring the photos and making this possible for all exhibitors at this fair this year. Let's give them a round of applause.
Is helping you grow. We're Baxler Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Baxler Tractor.
For the overtime thrillers.
Dribbling ahead off the right side, goes the length of the floor for a layup, up with tied. We're going to overtime.
Before the timely trifectas.
Step back three at the buzzer, it's good!
Before basketball comes to the shack, join C103 and Good Guys Radio TV for Basketball 30. Coming soon. Stay tuned.
Tadlock Trailer Sales has been selling and servicing trailers for over 35 years. They offer a variety of new and used trailers, plus Dixie Chopper, Simplicity, and Bad Boy lawnmowers. They also sell trailer and mower parts and accessories. Check out their large selection of trailers and mowers on display at 5645 Sterile 125 in West Union. They'll gladly answer all your questions. Looking to rent a trailer? Call and see what's available at 937-544-2851. Tadlock Trailer Sales, family owned and operated.
I wanted to prove to myself that I could go to college and get my degree.
What if I went to Southern State? What if I'm able to go and become that nurse or that lawyer or that teacher? Southern State Community College allows students to rise above the circumstances that they're surrounded by and become something more than they ever dreamed possible.
At Security Bank and Trust, we bring you the best of both worlds. Personalized service with reliability that you can trust. Since 1928, we've been helping our community thrive by offering exceptional financial solutions, tailored just for you. Whether you're saving for the future or need a loan to grow your business, our friendly team is here to guide you through every step of the way. Visit us today at our Maysville branch, located at 1426 US 68, or give us a call at 606-564-3304.
We're going to go ahead and call Class 1 Market Barrow to the arena. Class 1 Market Barrow to begin the
Well, good morning. We certainly had a lot of fun yesterday in showmanship in the Market Guild, so I'm looking forward to an excellent bear show and goat show later on today. And starting here with the underweight class, I think we have 4 good hogs and a close call here between 1 and 2. For me, Young Man's Black Bear, I think it's just a little bit further as Market Hogs, although that was not the heaviest muscle out here. That's the young lady with the hog there in 2. This one still has enough, and that's the cool looking one who's tall at the point of his shoulder, level made, and has a good show barrel look. He narrows up too much from behind and probably needs to be softer center, but again, he has enough muscle and he's the cool looking one who's square and more flexible than the one there in second. Like I said, the one in second just kind of overpowers the rest of them. He's big chested, big back, big rib. We like all those things about him. But when we set him in motion, that hog that's a little too straight in his knees, a little bow-legged from behind, just gets outside of himself and labors a little bit more when we ask him to go. He's not quite as tall at the point of his shoulder. For those reasons, I'm going to stick him second, but I like the extra stoutness and dimension that Barra has. I think 3 and 4 is also a close call out here. The young lady's Blue Barra is going to go ahead and be third. That one's more flexible off both ends of his skeleton and has more extension ahead of his shoulder and in his rump structure compared to 1 and 2. He's just a scad bit green. I like to open him up in his rib and just give him more total dimension as well. A man with the short-tailed or bobtailed Barra that rounds out this class probably has a little bit more curvature to his rib than the Blue Hog. I like how easy feeding he is in his rib and center cavity. For me though, it gets just a little bit short, round body. I'd like to see him stouter in his foot size to match his curvature up high. Great way to start off our bear show out here. Let's give these kiddos a nice round of applause.
Time, we're going to go ahead and call Class 2 up for the holding hands. Class 2, Michael Anderson, Robert Neal, Ethan Strong, Olivia Wilhelm, Liam Anderson, and Casey Box. Please begin making your way to the holding hands. Placing the underweight class in 4th place, Ethan Waddell. 3rd place, Kevin Colson. 2nd place, Andrew Daly. 1st place, Mason Wood. Quick way to start off class number 1, but I think these hogs line up fairly logically out here. Good class to start off.
the show pig of the group. That one's tall-fronted and extra sharp and good looking ahead of his blade. I think he's more attractive out of his hip and hind leg than the one there in second. You know, a little one in second maybe is a little bit stouter skull, maybe has a little bit more feature and stoutness to his lower bone. I still think this Barrow, this blue Barrow in second, is wider at the top side of his blade and has more genuine curvature to his rib. When you study him up high, he actually has more spread from leg to hip. Like I said, I just like to stout him up in his lower jaw and maybe his bone work, but that's a good looking rascal who can flat out move. He still has plenty of muscle. I like that place to start. Nothing to take away from the one in second, because I think he gives our class winner a really good run for our money. That's one who's more dense in his jaw. He's got a bigger hind leg. He's got a lot of shape through the top side of his skeleton as well. For me, he does want to narrow up a little bit at the top side of his blade, get flatter in his upper forehead. He's not quite as long in his rump structure and throws his hind leg a little bit too wide from behind. I think that's a little bit nitpicky, but that's the differences I've seen between 1 and 2. Good pair of hogs right there. I mean, that's no slouch there in third. That's just a really solid type of a market hog who's flexible, big body, and has enough muscle. Compared to 1 and 2, your hog's just not quite as fancy or maybe doesn't have the extras. This hog has a little extra skin up front, a little crest to your neck, runs downhill. I just like to fancy him up through his front third and just make him more flashy. I think doing so, it gets to a closer pair, maybe a more discussable top trio. Come leading in 4 brings me 1. You've done a great job managing this hog in terms of feet and legs. I like his skeleton. He's sound and flexible when he hits the chips. For me, he's almost a little bit early maturing. And I know we're in class 1, but he's a shorter face, shorter cannon hog who wants to run downhill just ever so slightly. Not quite as attractive out of his hip and hind leg. He gives up a little bit in terms of pounds and just sheer muscle, but a good hog nonetheless that's flexible on both ends of the skeleton. The lady that rounds out our top 5 out here brings me one that I actually think is later maturing than the hog there in 4, and I contemplated that switch. He's tall-fronted, really stretchy necked. I like that about him. For me, he rounds in his hip. It just gets too narrow coming and going. That's what worked it down lower in this particular class. Great job to class number 1. Let's put our hands together for all 5 of those kiddos.
Disaster can strike without warning, and when it does, your choice of an insurance agent really matters. At Paul Hall & Associates, we understand the importance of being there when it counts, and our dedicated team will be by your side. You can rest easy knowing that we are your trusted insurance partner for when the unpredictable happens. Learn more about how we can protect you and your family at paulhallinsurance.com. We are Paul Hall & Associates, our family insuring yours.
Placings for Class 1, Martin Barrows. In 5th place, William Waddell. In 4th place, Autumn Waddell. In 3rd place, Braxton Ratliff. In 2nd place, Harvard Staley. In 1st place, Liam Anderson. And the trophy for that class was sponsored by Jeff Century Truck. Big thank you to them. At this time, Class 3 begin making their way to the holding pens. Class 3 Martin Barrows, Olivia Wilhelmi, Aubrey Ratliff, Bailey Desance again, Kinsey Daly, and Trenton Adams. Please begin making your way to the holding pens at this time. Also, if anyone wants a small purple lever brush yesterday, please come see Anita. She has it at the announcer's stand.
Well, we saw a lot of really good classes yesterday, but starting off the show today, by far the best class I've seen at the Brown County Fair in 2024, all the way down to 6th place, high quality livestock, and those top 4 really give you a run for your money. So really lining them up is a lot of fun, and young lady out here in the pink and purple shirt, I think brings me one that's just really my kind, because he's stout, he's big chested, he has enough muscle for me, and that's a good looking flexible one that I think is the stretchiest neck, along with his rump structure, the most comfortable in his spine, and still just has a really cool look. As the drive wears on, he's wanting to fight the chips and the whip just a little bit harder, and maybe jams that hind leg down a little bit more than ideal, or a little bit more than he was when he first hit the ring, but one that I think is built a little bit squarer from behind the one in second. I like his length and levelness of rump structure compared to 1 and 2. If the 1 and 2 is more your flavor, I wouldn't argue, because that one's a little bit stouter to his feature. That's the one that has a bigger hind leg and a bigger back. I like those things about him. For me, he's one that I think is not quite as genuine from the top side of his blade to his knee to the surface. He's a little bit shorter and rounder in his hip, and as the drive wears on, he wants to swing that hind leg just a little bit more than ideal, but that's a very close pair, a tough call between 1 and 2. The Bears in 3 and 4, I thought the same thing. Young man's Bear in 3, I thought maybe is the most flexible of my top 4, a very sound, practical type of a hog that still has a good look. For me, it's coming and going. He just doesn't have enough in the seam of his pants to go ahead and be first or second. This bear needs to be bigger chested, more stout from behind, but a flexible, good-looking one, and that's the reason he gets over the 1 here in 4. If you just want a tater hog and one that has a ton of power, that's your bear in 4, and I can see the guy tying into this one because he's big back, he's bigger ribbed, he's stout off both ends of his skeleton. For me, out of those top 4, I thought he was maybe the plainest from the side, had the most crest to his neck. He was the one of those top 4 that I thought got the most rigid on those rear 2. For those reasons, I sorted him down a little bit further, but a stout, good presented bear, best 4th place hog we've had in the show so far. Same thing with young lady's 5th place hog. This one's flexible and good looking from the side. Coming and going, this one needs to be opened up in its foundation. I need more genuine shape up high and from behind to move this one up any higher. I contemplated a switch between 5 and 6 because the bear here in 6 I think does have more genuine shape up high. That's a good looking one up front. For me, he's too hard bodied. I think he's straighter fronted, a little bit narrower chested than the one right ahead of him. Great class, great top 4. Let's give those kiddos a nice round of applause.
To get to know people as people, not just customers. That's very important to Mosier Furniture. Today we were lucky enough to have 2 customers call us and brag about the fact that they loved their furniture and they're still loving it after a great number of years. We like to hear that. There's no doubt Mosier Furniture and Appliance has a lot of great customers, but we're always looking for more. Mosier Furniture and Appliance in West Union, Ohio. We're here whenever you need us.
Winter's here and it's time to service your vehicle to prepare for those chilly days ahead. Bowling Auto Service is here to help. Sardinia's local auto repair expert has built their reputation on hard work, integrity, and auto repair expertise. Bowling Auto Service has batteries, brakes, inspections, oil changes, tire diagnostics, and more. Call or stop by today for specials. 12702 Fight Hawk Road in Sardinia or 937-213-2046. Visit them online at bowlingautomotiveservice.com.
At this time, Class 3 begin making their way up Class 4 begin making their way to the holding lanes. Class 4, Bailey Joy Davis, Piper Anderson, Riley Fowler, Brady Vance, Gracie Zoid, Gage Roush. Please begin making your way to the holding lanes at this time.
run with me and pick me in the class winner. There's a pair of them that sort up, and maybe one that just doesn't say pick me, but as the drive wears on and we study him, the one in the blue I think has the show bearer of the group. I like him the best from the side. He's tall fronted, really good looking head and shoulder. I think he's cleaner about his lower jaw and just has a little bit more pizzazz or look through his front third. That's a big legged one that still has plenty of shape. He wants to knuckle up on that rear left rear ankle and maybe not grab the ground quite as fluid or as flexible as ideal. He still has flex to his hock and comfort, and I think when you step in behind him, he's a simple square from his pin bone to his hock down to the middle of his dew claw, which I think enables him to stay a bit more inside himself than the one there in second. The one in second is more burly. He's bigger at the top side of his blade, bigger back and thicker ended. For me though, when you step in behind him, that right rear hock just gets a little bit wonky. I like to square him up and make him more flexible in the rear too. But for me, both those hocks probably need to be reassembled on one of their hind leg. But for me, there's just so much more power. There's so much more rib in the hogs there in 3 and 4. Like for instance, this Barrow here in third is the tallest fronted. He's better in his hind leg than 1 and 2. For me, he still reads a little bit more juvenile. I think this Barrow needs 3 more weeks on feed, and then it's a totally different ballgame. But for me, he ranks 3rd or 4th in regards to top shape, just overall dimension. I like to see that guy with bigger body and just a little bit softer to move up any higher. Barrow here in 4, I think, has a lot more muscle than the one there in 3. He's better body, but of his top 4, I thought this one just got a little bit short fronted, a little bit lower fronted. I think this one needs to be cleaner in his joint work and sounder on his rear too to move him up any higher in this particular class. 5 and 6 have some sort, and I do think he gets close. For me, the young man's Barrow is just a little bit shapelier up high. I think that one has a little bit more genuine muscle when I step in behind that guy. For me, compared to 1, 2, 3, and 4, it's a little bit cleaner from the side. I like to give that one more a little bit stoutness to his feature and work him up any higher. The lace hog in 6, I think it's a little bit longer and more extended. I think that's what makes it close, and that's a sound, easy feeding type of a hog. But again, gets too frail. That one ranks 6 in regards to meat animal shape and dimension. Good class. Great job to all 6 of those kiddos. Let's give them a round of applause.
Insurance protection for you and your family. John Wood Insurance has helped thousands of families with their insurance needs since 1891. For service you can trust, contact John Wood Insurance in Georgetown at 937-378-4124, in Owensville at 513-732-2600, in West Union at 937-544-5505, or in Peebles at 937-587-2246. That's John Wood Insurance.
At this time, in Class 5 will be making their way from the showroom. Dylan Monson, Julian Scott, Joey Bowler, Sadie Wilhelmy, Tucker Payne. Please begin making your way to the showroom at this time. Placings for Class 3. In 6th place, Bailey Basance. In 5th place, Bailey Basance. In 4th place, Trenton Adams. In 3rd place, William Wilhelmy. 2nd place, Arthur Ratliff. In 1st place, Kinsey Daly. Thank you to Jim and Bonnie Press for sponsoring the award for Class number 3. judge for today is Zane Webster. Zane grew up in southeastern Arizona, heavily involved in agriculture. He attended Commerce State College and made junior college and academic All-American livestock judging team. He then went to Texas Tech University and was honored to be a part of the 2016 National Champion Livestock Judging Team and named Reserve National Champion individual. He graduated from Texas Tech with a Bachelor's of Science in Animal Science and completed his Master's of Science in Agriculture Education at the University of Arizona. He's now an ag teacher in Kirkland, New Mexico, where he enjoys creating opportunities for youth to succeed in expanding agriculture education opportunities.
Really good top end of this class here, and I think those top four really have some sort of, particularly these top three, without a doubt, in my mind at least, Young Lady wins the class very easily. That's the big burly hairy men's one that just looks like the show pig of 2024. Big back, still flexible enough. I'll admit, I'd like to see this one have just a scotch more flex to his hind leg. Maybe even crank up that tail root an inch or two and just allow him to push that hawk a little further past the plane of his tail. But I worked him a little bit harder, and he still has more range of motion than both the Barretts in 2 and 3. And I think he has more density, stoutness of skull, and all of that. Very, very nice place to start. And then he's done a great job on skin and hair as well. 2 and 3, I think, where it gets really close. And I think there's a pair of them, and they're very different. They're type and kind. I don't like to match them up with my class winner. I think you pick the best one regardless. In this particular case, though, I think Young Lady's Barrett in second better matches our class winner. He has the density, the stoutness of feature in the rib. For me, as the driver is on, he gets just a little bit short pipped. He wants to kind of drag that hind leg, but I still think he's more genuine in his knee. I think he has more genuine stoutness in the one here second, and then his stoutness of feature kind of helps him as well. I haven't switched for the longest time because I think this Blue Barrow is really loose spine. I think he takes a long step. As the drive wore on, he too got a little bit more rigid off those rear two. He's one that's a little bit more into his knee, not quite as big chested as that first and second place hog. He's just a little bit weaker jawed, a little bit frailer in his feature. For me, I think if he's not significantly sounder structured, I go ahead and put him third because he gives up so much there in regards to dimension. When this mare came out here in 4, I thought, ooh, this young man brought me a really, really nice one, and he is. I think he just ran into a really tough top trio. This one's good looking up front, really shapely, but for me, as a drive more on, that was the straightest in his shoulder and knee and his hind leg, and consequently, just got a little bit too rigid, got a little bit too complicated when I wanted to get out and go. Good hog here at 5, that's really flexible off that rear end. I like the stoutness and the extra bone that this one has. This one maybe gets a little bit too weak in his spine and wants to almost get a little bit cresty there at the top side of his neck. Big picture, I like to take the wrinkle out of that one's loin, just give him more body as well. Young man that rounds out the class, it was a hard call between 5 and 6. I think he's done an excellent job with skin and hair. I like this one's spine a little bit better. I like this one's rib cage. Coming and going. This one closes up the most of his foundation. I think this one gets just a little bit short-sided, a little bit more compact in the profile. Great job to all 6 of those kiddos. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
We all have individual needs when it comes to our prescriptions. Why not choose a pharmacy that offers personalized, friendly service that's also convenient? Health Source of Ohio pharmacies offer free prescription delivery within their service area, free shipping on your mail order prescriptions, auto refill, and more. Call 513-707-9900 or visit healthsourceofohio.org for more information. Stop by any of the pharmacy locations in Seaman, Mount Orb, or Batavia to meet the staff. Health Source of Ohio is proud to be the source for pharmacy in your community.
Class 4 in 6th place was Steve Brown. In 5th place, Bailey Joy Davis. In 4th place, Brody Vance. In 3rd place, Piper Anderson. In 2nd place, Bradley Ball. And in 1st place, Kristen Joy. And that trophy was donated by Hendersonville Cold Feet. Will Class 6 make their way to the holding pens? Briley Roush tied 417. Bailey Joy Davis tied 426. Keaton Strong tied 480. Colton Davis tied 425. Abby Adams tied 485. And Aiden Wilhelm tied 423.
Good class out here, competitive top trio. Young ladies Barrow, for me at least, wins rather handedly. A little bit more my flavor in terms of being a good-looking hog that still has enough muscle of these top trio. He's also the most flexible, the soundest as well, and I like that about him. I prefer to have him a little bit bigger legged, a little bit denser in their skeleton. I don't think he's frail by any means, but I think, to come out here and win the thing, I'd like to see one just a little bit bigger in his hind leg. But for me, I still think that one's dense enough. One that has enough muscle, the best looking one that's the most flexible, great place to start. After that, there's a decision to be had between 2 and 3, and I think they're very different. We have a more practical, maybe a square hog here in 3. We have one that's just a little bit more out there and has some extra pieces here in 2 that I need to see square. For me, I like the extra out there pieces, and I just think this hog here in 2nd is harder to make. That one's extremely opened up. That's maybe one of the bigger back hogs we've seen in the show so far. I love this one's skull shape. I like this one's front knee placement. I think that one's just a really better looking hog from the side. When you step in behind him, he needs to be squared up on both hind legs. I'd like to see him this little square there, maybe leveler in his rump structure, but I call him sound enough because I do think his pieces are just more extreme and more harder to make. Barrow, that's really, really unique. One here in 3rd, like I said, is extremely practical. He takes a comfortable step, he's square on his hind leg. That's what makes it such a close call. But for me, he's not as opened up in his chest. He doesn't have as much muscle from behind. From the side of my top 3, he's usually the plainest in regards to his front 3rd, just overall look. That's the reason I sold him down into the white ribbon, but a good hog nonetheless. Same thing for the young man here in 4, good Barrow. That one's more flexible to the one there in 5. I think it just has more genuine shape up high compared to 1, 2, and 3. This is a rather featured hog. It's a little bit higher there in his tine bone, which is concerning for class number 5. I'd like to see that Barrow just stouter all the way through. The one here in 5 probably has more spread down his top and is really full rib. This one gets a little bit short neck, short hip for me, and consequently, he just wants to paddle out both ends of his skeleton, and I'd like to change him there. Young man did an awesome job with the skin and hair program. He's presented extremely good. I just like to give him a little bit more stretch, a little bit more flex from the side. Good class, nice class winner. Congratulations to all those kiddos.
More than a century of service. Let that sink in for a moment. For more than 100 years, since 1908 and through 4 generations of family-owned business, Georgetown Marble and Granite has stood firm in our community. They've helped thousands of families pay their respects and have memorialized so many lives gone, but not forgotten. When that difficult time comes, Georgetown Marble and Granite will be there to assist you too. Visit their location on East North Street in Georgetown or call 937-378-6314.
Class 5 placing in 5th place Tucker Pinkerton, in 4th place Dylan Walmsley, in 3rd place Joey Bowler, in 2nd place Julia Scott, and in 1st place Katie Rosen. Matt Kirby was donated by Cancer Fund. Class 7 make their way to the holding pen. Rylan Utter, tag 612. Kendall Holding, tag 403. Sadie Wilhelmy, tag 492. Rylan Hawkinson, tag 473. Morgan Reynolds, tag 490. Gracie Joy, tag 602. And Faith Bowler, tag 659.
good class out here, and I think we have some good hogs and some talking points between second and third. But blonde lady is going to go in and get her class win. That's just a good type of Barrow. He's an extra big back and big body, easy feeding type of a hog. He wants to throw that hind leg a little bit wild, but I still think he's square and comfortable. He's good looking from the side. Nice place to start. For me, there's a decision between 2 and 3, and the young lady in the pink is going to go ahead and have her second place Barrow. For me, coming right at me, that was so much stouter scold and more genuine from the top side of his blade to the surface. He's more opened up and just a bigger, stouter feature type of a hog. He gets too round in his hip and a little bit dry center. I wish he'd take just a big old drink of water, and I think that kind of changed his center cavity. I really like to change his attitude out here, but Finley does a good job throwing one of the punches. Stout featured hog, I think it's just a little bit piecier from the side, a little bit rounder maybe. Young man here in third, I love the hip and hind leg on that Barrow right there. Kind of a traditional hand hog here. I think his hip and hind leg is just dignity or ideal. I think he's flexible and comfortable. I just can't stomach starting him or move him up any higher, driving right at me. He's a narrowest chested hog who comes in at his knees. I'd like to change his ear set and just look up front, but I'd like to make it more genuine and skeletal width. I think that's the biggest thing I'd like to change on that guy. Young man here in 4 run a hog out that I think is deadly from the side. That's tall fronted and good looking. I like him better in his hip and hind leg than the one in second. I think he's better and more attractive in his front third than the one there in third. Of my top 4, this Barrow is the most nondescript in his muscle shape. Although he has spread up high, he's the most plain in his muscle pattern, and from behind he gets a little bit short in his cycle. I think in another 14 days and really counting the protein on that one, we might have a class winner, but today he's just not enough hog there. 1 year and 5, I think he's presented extremely well. It does have more expression down his spine than the one right ahead of him. For me, he's almost a rig too long and throws off his proportionality from the side. He's a plainer running hog who gets drier in the center, just too straight in his hind leg for me. The only lady who rounds out the class does a great job getting this one shown. Really extended one that has a lot of flex. This guy needs more knee knuckle shape and power to move up any higher. Good job to all those kiddos. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
What does the Brown County OSU Extension Office do? They help develop our youth, protect our water, promote our farms, and build our communities. What can you do to help them accomplish this mission? Vote yes for the Brown County OSU Extension Tax Levy Renewal. Because this levy is a renewal, it will not result in any new taxes and is less than 1% of your property tax. Let's grow the future of Brown County agriculture together. Please vote yes on November 5th to renew the Brown County OSU Extension Tax Levy, paid for by Brown County Extension Support Group.
Class 6 placing in 6th place, Bailey Joy Davis. In 5th place, Keaton Strong. In 4th place, Colton Davis. In 3rd place, Aiden Wilhelming. In 2nd place, Riley Roush. And in 1st place, Abby Adams. That trophy was donated by Smart's Auto Parts. Class 8 made their way to the holding pen. Ashlyn Clifton, tag 469. Dylan Walmsley, tag 416. Corbin Strong, tag 477. Ellie Hanselman, tag 471. Avery Banks, tag 499. And Christina Murphy, tag 411.
really competitive pair of Barrows here at the top end of this class, and I think there's some sort between the two of them. I just like the extra look and the extra out there pieces that a young man's black-headed hog has. I like his height of the shoulder and just his look and his sharpness ahead of his blade. He's one that's not the heaviest muscle hog in this class, but I do think he has enough top shape. I think he's really square in that hind leg. I think he's much stouter featured, and that kind of lets him balance out and proportion out better than the one there in a second. I like to clean him up and his lymph nodes back there to his flank and maybe lengthen him out and his hip just ever so slightly, but a good looking Barrow that I think does a lot of really good things for me. This one here in second is really loosey-goosey and comfortable on the go, and I like that about him. He takes a giant step out here and he's got a big old noggin on him, but from the side he just comes in a little bit more parts and pieces. He has more crest to his neck and almost breaks a little bit there behind his blade. He rounds a little bit more in his hip, and then he just doesn't have the extra stoutness of foot and bone, which proportionality-wise just throws him off a little bit from the side. But I love his range of motion. I like that he's probably a little bit more shapely out of the back of his blade than the one that wins that class. Good pair of models. Nothing to take away from the one here in third. This one's as solid as the day is long. He's big rim, he's big back, he's thick-ended. He gets too ouchy on those front feet, and I wish he just went out and caught another gear on the move. He's one that just needs to be more flexible off both ends, maybe a little bit cleaner fronted to move up any higher in this particular class. 4 and 5 I thought had some sort for me. The one here in 4 needs to move better. He's a little bit uncomfortable to the chips out here. But for me, he's a carcass hog. He's extremely big back. I'm going to hang a big loin on it. I'm going to hang with a high percent lean, and then he just has more skeletal width and stoutness and feature to boot. One here in 5 I do think's more flexible. And Lady, I love your hog from the side. He's tall fronted, he's level made, he's really clean in the track, the head of his shoulder. Coming at me, going away from me. Where you find the fifth place hole. He's just too narrow for me. We need more meat, animal shape, and bone in that guy to move up any higher. Kind of the opposite here in 6. Young man brings me one that's just jam-packed full of power and thickness from his nose to his tail. That dude is stout. But for me, he just gets a little bit more compact from the side, tight spine, way too restricted on the move. I'd like to change that one. Young lady that rounds out the class does an awesome job getting this one shown. I think this is a Barrow that's probably more comfortable in his spine than the one right ahead of him. But for me, I think he's just the most nondescript in his muscle. He's flat in his front feet, a little bit bow-legged from behind. That's where I'd like to change him just ever so slightly. Really good class, very high quality classes you guys are bringing me. Let's give these kiddos a nice round of applause.
When you're trying to find the best deal on a home or car, you shop around. When it comes to finding the best deal for insuring those things, it just makes sense to shop around too. That's why Column Insurance works as an independent agency. One agency, multiple carriers, allowing your agent to shop for the company that best fits your needs and budget. Column Insurance works with Nationwide and Nationwide Agribusiness, Travelers, Progressive, and more. Stop by Column Insurance in Georgetown to speak to their friendly agents, Jay, Carolyn, or Stacy, or call 378-6947 for a free quote today.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxter Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Baxter Tractor.
Class 9, we will be making your way to the holding pen. Harvest David, David Bullard, Faith Bullard, Sophia Keller, Austin DeSantis. We will be making your way to the holding pen at this time. David, Walter Burrow, second place, Larry Johnson, sixth place, Andrew Holder, fifth place, Dave Ford, fourth place, Jordan Andrews, third place, Chris Zwick, second place, Steve Wilhelmy, first place, Gavin Hunt. And thank you to John Community Services for sponsoring the award for the class. I will also take this time to remind our exhibitors and parents in the barn, please sign up for the horse group if you have the time. We have to fill a slot tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Any spare time you have will be greatly appreciated. More producers will work for us.
Another nice class out here. Young lady is shaking my hand right now, wins it very, very easily. That's a Barrow that comes out here that's good looking, stout, and still flexible. We didn't work him a lot, but out here it's when you know, and that guy is just out and out. The show hog of the group, I think he does a lot of good things. I think 2 and 3 get rather close, and the young man's Barrow is really good and fits out here, but I think when you break it down, Trinity's hog here in second is extremely flexible, and maybe even has more flex than our class winner. I like that one's looseness of spine, that one's good looking from the side, that one actually has more expression from leg to hip, and I like that about him. The reason this one makes it close is because I think that guy gets a little bit frailer featured. I got someone bigger chested and more massive, but I do think his skeleton is better than the one there in 3. I do think he has more expression in his genuine shape of muscle. In terms of volume of muscle, I like the Barrow, the Calico Barrow here in third, excuse me. He has more spread from leg to hip. He's a big pink hog. I think he's got a little bit more rear leg to him as well. For me, up high, he gets a little bit plainer, more nondescript in his back shape. As the drive wears on, he gets a little bit more rigid and stiff on those rear too, but that's what I like to take him. But I do think he's square and a little bit more athletic than the one here in 4. Maybe every hog you bring me, I think skin and hair is perfect. He got a big back plate in him. For me, this guy's just too bow-legged, too outside of himself from behind. I gotta see him square and just more athletic when I step in behind him, but a good carcass hog that I think is presented extremely well. I just gotta see his skeleton a little bit more right with the times. Nobody here in 5 brings me just a good solid type of a market hog. Double bred, easy feeding, sound, flexible. This guy just gets a little bit plainer, a little bit more jowl and lower cheek. I gotta see him more attractive through his front third. I thought he needed to get a little more expression back to his leg, but he reached out early when we go into 5. No man in 6 brings me one that's, I think, a lot more attractive than the other ones that beat him. As a big full hog that I think takes a comfortable step. For me, I'm going to go and he's the most close up in his skeleton and probably just needs a little bit more oomph in terms of power and meat animal shape, but a good hog nonetheless. Great class, awesome class winner. Let's give those kiddos a nice round of applause.
For the overtime thrillers.
Dribbling ahead off the right side. Goes the length of the floor for a layup. Upward tide. We're going to overtime.
Before the timely trifectas.
Step back 3 at the buzzer. It's good!
Before basketball comes to the shack, join C103 and Good Guys Radio TV for Basketball 30. Coming soon. Stay tuned.
Tadlock Trailer Sales has been selling and servicing trailers for over 35 years. They offer a variety of new and used trailers, plus Dixie Chopper, Simplicity, and Bad Boy lawnmowers. They also sell trailer and mower parts and accessories. Check out their large selection of trailers and mowers on display at 5645 Sterile 125 in West Union. They'll gladly answer all your questions. Looking to rent a trailer? Call and see what's available at 937-544-2851. Tadlock Trailer Sales, family owned and operated.
Also at this time, I would like to remind all of our exhibitors to turn in your animal destination slips by the end of this show. It is imperative that you get those turned in for us, so that way you're picking where you intended to, whether that be in the truck or back home.
Young lady in the pink brings me a nice class winner out here, and in terms of spread, maybe not the best class winner I've seen so far, but by far the easiest class winner we've had out here. That's a big, stout, burly one that's been fed impeccably well in terms of back shape and overall dimension, and still keeping it inside himself. He gets a little tight in his spine and wants to duck his pins to kind of compensate for that when we ask him to go. That's where I like to change that guy and maybe lay him back and angle to his blade, but he's certainly the soundest one out here that still has a show barrel look and a ton of muscle. Great way to start this particular class. After that, I think it's fairly logical to go ahead and use the second place barrel for the young lady's Black Hog out here. I think in terms of just skeletal quality, he's probably the most flexible and the best in terms of that. He's more comfortable in his spine than our class winner, and I think he's much cleaner in his joint work and flexible in his hind leg than the ones both in 3 and 4. Compared to my class winner, he gets a little bit more jowl, a little bit shorter neck. I'd like to see that guy a little bit stouter featured as well, but the hog that ranks second in terms of quality in regards to his skeleton. After that, young man's thin belted hog's going to go ahead and be third. I think there's a decision between 3 and 4, but I like the look, I like the extra shape up high of the one here in 3. I think he's more attractive about his front end. I think he's stouter in his foot and bone sides as well, which helps him balance up from the side. That guy has too much swelling there in his rear leg. I'd like to see him more flexible when we get out and go. Same time, I'd like to level him out in his hip as well. The lady with the groomed up barrel here in 4 probably has a bigger back than the one there in 3. That one's really wide down the top side of the skeleton. For me though, it gets a little bit too tight in the spine. That's a lighter bone hog and just too straight off both ends of the skeleton for me. That's where that guy needs to be adjusted to move up any higher. McMahon does an impeccable job showing this hog here in 5. I think he's very talented showing. I think that hog actually has some flex and comfort a little bit better than the one there in 3 and 4. But for me, I think this guy just ranks 5 in terms of skeletal width and overall dimension. That guy just needs more power and muscle to move up any higher in this particular class. Great set of 5. Let's put our hands together for all 5 of those kiddos.
I wanted to prove to myself that I could go to college and get my degree.
What if I went to Southern State? What if I'm able to go and become that nurse or that lawyer or that teacher? Southern State Community College allows students to rise above the circumstances that they're surrounded by and become something more than they ever dreamed possible.
In 4th place, Sophia Keller. In 3rd place, Joey Bowler. In 2nd place, Faith Bowler. And in 1st place, Arliss Day. Thank you to Dalton Family Showcase for sponsoring the award for Class 9. And given the downtime, I will once again remind all our exhibitors to please write your thank you notes and make them out to the address on the award that they receive. this time, we're going to go ahead and call Class 11 Margaret Barrow. Please make your way to the holding pen. Class 11, Eve Roush, Riley Conselman, Anthony Neal, Christina Murphy, Mason Zoid, and Abby Adams. Please make your way to the holding pen at this time.
Very close competitive pair of hogs that are completely different. They're type and kind, and I went back and forth between them. For me, I think the one that's just more unique and a little bit more out there is young man in the orange or the pink, whatever you want to call it. That Baron is just dense in his skeleton. From his head all the way back to his tail root, that guy has just opened up with genuine dimension and power. I think when he comes right at you, not only is he more attractive in his skull and denser in his jaw, I think from the top side of his blade to his knee to the surface is square. I think his foot and bone size makes him more proportional from the side. I think a big kicker on that one, he's not near as flexible as the one there in second. But I do think he's square from behind, his angles read right. As the drive wore on, he actually kind of loosened up just a nickel in that hind leg and kind of took a longer more step. He does want to have just a little bit of pinch in that hind leg, but I read him square and comfortable. That is a dense dude that has a lot of power and stoutness. In Swiss Navy, he had the hind leg that we find of the one here in second. This black bear in second gives him a really good run for his money because that one's flexible, takes a big comfortable step. He's got a big back leg in him. For me, he's just a little bit more common about his skull shape and his head. He's not as dense in his skeleton as well. Although he takes a more comfortable step, when you step in behind this black bear, I wouldn't necessarily call him perfectly square. He kind of was pushing a limit on his hock placement and kind of wants to get a little bit, maybe rotate on the inside of his toe. I think his toe spread is just a little bit off. I think that allows him maybe to roll that hock just a little bit more. I want to call him the sounder, more correct one, but I do think his toe spread needs to be corrected. And again, when he's just a little bit more confident about his head, very, very good pair of them. Doesn't take away from young lady's hog hog here in third, and she brings me one every single time. They're big body, big back, dense, and stout. That's exactly what that guy is. For me, he gets too short and rounded in his hip. Going at me, I'd like to see him bigger chested. I'd like to see him take a longer step on his rear wheels. Bill Lady brings me one out here in four that I think is extremely flexible. Big step, almost clipping his front leg. That's a long, loose spine one as well. For me, he gets a little bit too long and kind of spiky about his skull up top. I think that one needs more genuine muscle and back shape to go up any higher. I mean, this is a good hog this here in 5. One of the best fifth place hogs we've had in the show. Big back, big ribs, still sound enough. He just gets a little bit plainer and easier from the side. He runs downhill and has extra cheek. He gets a little bit rounder in his hip. Comparatively, he still doesn't have as much in his lower stifle as some of the hogs ahead of him. Good class, good pair up top. Nice class winner. Let's give those kiddos a good round of applause.
At Security Bank and Trust, we bring you the best of both worlds. Personalized service with reliability that you can trust. Since 1928, we've been helping our community thrive by offering exceptional financial solutions, tailored just for you. Whether you're saving for the future or need a loan to grow your business, our friendly team is here to guide you through every step of the way. Visit us today at our Maysville branch located at 1426 US 68 or give us a call at 606-564-3304.
Third place, Bradley Fowler. In second place, Trenton Adams. In first place, Ryan Rudder. And thank you to Flat Coat Living for sponsoring Class 10 tables. At this time, with Class 12 beginning the way of the holding pins. Class 12, Stella Keller, Ashton Clifton, Julian Scott, Corbin Strong, and Michael Neal. Please begin making the way of the holding pins at this time.
apologize about taking a little bit more time, but the decision was not on the class winner. Young lady with the American flag pants wins this thing in a landslide, at least in my mind. That's a good looking rascal that's really flexible off both ends. I like his height and shoulder, skull shape, and levelness and strength there to his tail root. He's one that's not the heaviest muscle. In my top 4, he ranks number 4 in terms of muscle. But like I said in the guilds and earlier in the class, there's a threshold. You gotta have enough. He has just enough. And again, he combines it with the most athletic skeleton and look. If it was just about making the muscle and power and fat, then a tape measure and a scale would be the judge. That's the hardest bear to make. That's the most unique. Nice place to start. After that, I think there's a decision to be had. We have 2 hogs that look a little bit more raw and a little bit more ripped up. We have a Barrow over here in second that I think maybe is a little bit too plain for some. But I think for me, my biggest issue with this guy is his front third. If we were going to put our class winner's head on this guy, we would think he's a totally different pig. That's the second winner in terms of rib shape. That's the biggest back hog. That's the biggest ended hog. He's squarer than the 1 and 3. He's more athletic than the 1 and 4. I think other than that, he just gets a little bit too much cheek. He's pressed to your neck and plainer skull. We can maybe trim him up in his lower third. But again, I think once you look past him being a little bit too plain up front, that's still a really good mare that has a lot of good pieces. After that, then maybe the pink's going to go down to third, and I had this hog in second for a while. I think that one's later maturing, taller fronted, stretchier neck, and I like all those things about him. I like that this one's really expressive in his back shape. As the drive wears on, this one maybe gets a little bit more rigid. That one's not quite as stout as foot and bone size, and wants to pinch there in his handling, hook up and round out of his hip. There's too many parts and pieces that don't land quite good enough for me, but a good one nonetheless. The one there in 4, I think that's an interesting rascal because he's very shapely, he's good looking up front. As the drive wore on, that calico hog just got the stiffest and started driving his hind leg the hardest into the surface of my top 4. I think that one just needs to be aligned in terms of a skeleton, but one that I think is high quality nonetheless. Young lady did an excellent job hiding his flaws and getting them shown to a high degree. Young man out here in 5 does a great job getting this one shown. They're good in our showmanship competition yesterday. That's a good Baron. I think in a different class, you probably could have been second or third because he's big ribbed, he's pit topped, he has some muscle. For me, he's just a little bit more compact from the side. He has extra cheek and he's a little shorter neck. He's one that wants to kind of throw his hind leg a little bit too wild from behind, but a good carcass hog nonetheless. The young man does a great job getting shown. Same thing for the young man that rounds out our class here. Contemplating a switch because this one's taller fronted, later maturing, really long-sided and level hipped in this particular class. That one ranks 6 in terms of skeletal width and power. For those reasons, I sorted them down. Great class, great job. Let's put our hands together for all those awesome kids.
Disaster can strike without warning, and when it does, your choice of an insurance agent really matters. At Paul Hall & Associates, we understand the importance of being there when it counts, and our dedicated team will be by your side. You can rest easy knowing that we are your trusted insurance partner for when the unpredictable happens. Learn more about how we can protect you and your family at paulhallinsurance.com. We are Paul Hall & Associates, our family insuring yours.
Your placings for Class 11, Market Barrows. In 6th place, Mason Zoid. In 5th place, Gage Roush. In 4th place, Abby Adams. 3rd place, Riley Hanselman. 2nd place, Christina Murphy. In 1st place, Kenley Neal. Thank you to Crest Farms for sponsoring the award for Class 11.
class out here. I think there's a pair of nice ones here at the top, but that's an awful good gesture to go ahead and get the blue ribbon. That one's really tall fronted and really good looking head display. I think that one for a gesture is really hard to build because you don't see them that up on their toes. You're still having some angle there to her shoulder, to their shoulder. For me, my biggest hole in this guy is he needs a big drink of water. He gets a little bit kind of high back there to his leg, maybe a little rounder in his hip, but I don't think the Barrow in second necessarily corrects that. That's an extremely unique hog with big back. I like that one a good deal. Try to get him a little fuller before the green drive. One here in second, I think, softly good as well, and I think that one's big bone. I think that one's probably maybe a little bit better in his forerib than our class winner. Maybe we could say he's a little bit softer bodied as well. For me, though, I think he reached just a nickel planer up front. His crest and his head doesn't attach quite as high on the top side of his blade there. He's one that still, too, his tail root can be picked up a little bit higher there on the back side of his back. And one that just gets just a nickel planer comparatively, but a good Barrow nonetheless that has muscle and flex. Good second place hog. One here in third when this young man came out. I think he was the third one to come out. I thought, boom, here's a nice class winner. Because he's muscular and he still has some look from the side. You know, he can do a great job with the feed bucket. For me, though, that one when he gets out here, you step back on the side. He gets a little bit too plain, a little bit too dish face. I like to see that one just more attractive and leather made from the profile. Doolini brings me another good presented hog with tons and tons of muscle. For me, he's a little bit too low to the ground, a little bit too quick. He's too bow-legged from behind, and we got to fix him there. I contemplated switching that pair because the good showman here in 5 has a hog who's more flexible and square made in terms of meat animal products and muscle. Doesn't race fit. He's the narrowest coming at me and just the most nondescript in his overall muscle pattern. I just need to see more genuine shape to move up any higher. Good class, good pair, nice class winner. Great way to wrap up or start to wrap up the show. Let's give these pillows a nice round of applause.
At this time, all of our class winners make their way to the holding pens, please. All class winners for class 1, Liam Anderson. Also, at this time, we recommend that our top 5 market codes from yesterday be getting ready in your holding pens. We'll be coming back to the Supreme Market Bar just after the conclusion of the Barrow show. All market gilts. Your top 5 from yesterday be getting ready in your holding pens. Placings for class 12. In 5th place, Stella Keller. In 4th place, Ashton Clifton. In 3rd place, Colin Strong. In 2nd place, David Scott. In 1st place, Franklin Neal. Thank you to Randy and Laura Hansen for sponsoring the award for class 12.
To get to know people as people, not just customers. That's very important to Mosier Furniture. Today we were lucky enough to have 2 customers call us and brag about the fact that they loved their furniture and they're still loving it after a great number of years. We like to hear that. There's no doubt Mosier Furniture and Appliance has a lot of great customers, but we're always looking for more. Mosier Furniture and Appliance in West Union, Ohio. We're here whenever you need us.
Winter's here and it's time to service your vehicle to prepare for those chilly days ahead. Bowling Auto Service is here to help. Sardinia's local auto repair expert has built their reputation on hard work, integrity, and auto repair expertise. Bowling Auto Service has batteries, brakes, inspections, oil changes, tire diagnostics, and more. Call or stop by today for specials. 12702 Fight Hawk Road in Sardinia or 937-213-2046. Visit them online at bowlingautomotiveservice.com. Insurance protection for you and your family. John Wood Insurance has helped thousands of families with their insurance needs since 1891. For service you can trust, contact John Wood Insurance in Georgetown at 937-378-4124, in Owensville at 513-732-2600, in West Union at 937-544-5505, or in Peebles at 937-587-2246. That's John Wood Insurance.
We all have individual needs when it comes to our prescriptions. Why not choose a pharmacy that offers personalized, friendly service that's
Just a reminder to all our second place in class, Market Barrows. Be ready in your pens and whenever you're ready, they come up to the concrete holding area to prepare for your final drive. All second places, be ready and come to the concrete holding area for the final drive.
Then we'll go from there. Young man out of the last class out of Chester is definitely getting a look for top 5, getting towards the top end of that top 5. That's a good-looking rascal who's square off both ends of his skeleton. That's the biggest back out here as well. When we study him, like we said in class, he gets a little bit dry back to his rear rib and flank. He's one that I like that's up on his toes, dialed back in his shoulders still for his Chester, but as the drag wears on, he maybe gets just a little bit more rigid on those rear too. But that's a good hog nonetheless, and certainly get a second look. The lady right behind me, that's probably the densest, burliest, stoutest featured hog in this particular lineup. He's maybe, we probably could have mowed down his head hair just a little bit tighter to really exaggerate his look. But I think when you're trying to make hogs that dense and powerful, yet keep them square and sounding up, I think that's very hard to do, and I think that hog gets it done. He maybe gets a little bit rounder and shorter in his hip, maybe not quite as good and extreme in his look up front, but that is a really dense one. It's definitely giving me a run for my money out here on possibly needing to win. Coming in right here in front of me with a kind of chromed up Barrow, that's another one that's just dense and burly and stout. And pound for pound, that one's got the most speed from leg to hip. He's really got a stout noggin about him as well, and cool looking. Like I said in class, although I call him sound enough, I still think he kind of wants to catch on that left rear leg, and I'd like to see him get out and go and catch another gear. But that's still a good looking Barrow with a ton of stoutness, a ton of power. I like that about him. The lady right in front of me has a different one of the group than the ones I just talked. This one's the pretty one. This one's the flexible one. From the side, this one's going to make me look silly if I don't use them, but then he comes right at me, and that guy just doesn't quite have enough catch. He goes away. I don't know if he has quite enough in the seam of his pants, and that's my question on this guy. He's deadly looking, but I'd like to see him just a little stouter, but a good hog nonetheless. It's certainly in the hunt out here. And with that being said, there's a couple more young ladies in the blue on the far side. That's a hog that I think is good looking, really shapely up high, maybe a little bit too wide, and just hawk to hawk from behind, a little bit rounder hips. Young lady in the black right here in front of me brings me one that I think is really big back, good looking, still sound. I think he wants to plane up just a little bit more. Maybe it's his foot size, maybe it's he has a little bit more crest to his neck. He wants to kind of concave and like a little bit narrower tracking when you step in behind him. But a good Barrow that I think makes a good case out here. Young lady in the pink brings me one that won probably the most deepest competitive class out of class number 2. He just gets a little bit outpowered out here. The driver is on. He wants to pound that hind leg into the surface just a little bit harder than they do. I think it's really close, and I don't think there's a group of them that all look alike. I think there's a good ones from different flavors, different packages, different sizes. I'm going to set the mic down and go pick your champion. Let's give a round of applause to all the kiddos in this area.
Congratulations to your grand champion, Barrow, Rylan Upper. And thank you to Ross Dollars and Scott and Stephanie Willie for sponsoring the grand champion, Barrow. To the ring, we need Trenton Adams with Tag 487 from Class 10, Trenton Adams, 487, Class 10. Please make your way to the ring. Congratulations to reserve champion Market Barrow, Kennedy Neal. And thank you to Logan Murphy and Georgetown Barrow and Grant, sponsoring the reserve champion award. And congratulations to your third overall Market Barrow, Gracie Zoe. And thank you to Linda's Embroidery for sponsoring that award.
More than a century of service. Let that sink in for a moment. For more than 100 years, since 1908 and through 4 generations of family-owned business, Georgetown Marble and Granite has stood firm in our community. They've helped thousands of families pay their respects and have memorialized so many lives gone, but not forgotten. When that difficult time comes, Georgetown Marble and Granite will be there to assist you too. Visit their location on East North Street in Georgetown or call 937-378-6314.
Congratulations to your 4th overall, Market Barrow, Riker Neal. And thank you to Dennis and Jason Dalton for sponsoring that award. And congratulations to your 5th overall, Market Barrow, Sadie Wilson. And thank you to Randy and Lauren Austin for sponsoring the award. At this time, we will dismiss all the market goats in the show ring. And we will go ahead and call up your Grand Reserve Market Guild from yesterday's show. Grand Reserve Market Guild is making your way to the show, which is Trent Adams and Piper Anderson. Please be making your way to the show with your Grand Reserve Market Guilds.
What does the Brown County OSU Extension Office do? They help develop our youth, protect our water, promote our farms, and build our communities. What can you do to help them accomplish this mission? Vote yes for the Brown County OSU Extension Tax Levy Renewal. Because this levy is a renewal, it will not result in any new taxes and is less than 1% of your property tax. Let's grow the future of Brown County agriculture together. Please vote yes on November 5th to renew the Brown County OSU Extension Tax Levy, paid for by Brown County Extension Support Group.
When you're trying to find the best deal on a home or car, you shop around. When it comes to finding the best deal for insuring those things, it just makes sense to shop around too. That's why Column Insurance works as an independent agency. One agency, multiple carriers, allowing your agent to shop for the company that best fits your needs and budget. Column Insurance works with Nationwide and Nationwide Agribusiness, Travelers, Progressive, and more. Stop by Column Insurance in Georgetown to speak to their friendly agents, Jay, Carolyn, or Stacy, or call 378-6947 for a free quote today.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow.
For the overtime thrillers.
Dribbling ahead off the right side. Goes the length of the floor for a layup up with Tide. We're going to overtime.
Before the timely trifectas.
Step back three at the buzzer. It's good!
Before basketball comes to the shack, join C103 and Good Guys Radio TV for Basketball 30. Coming soon. Stay tuned.
Correction, at this time, we will need our top 5 from both days to come to the show. Our top 5 from both days. Trent Adams, Piper Anderson, Ross Dalton, Kenley Neal, Ross Dalton, Ryan Mother, Kenley Neal, Gracie Zoik, Riker Neal, and Sadie Wilson. Please make your way to the showroom for the 3 overall market car. again with all top 5 overall market gilts and market barrows be making their way to the showroom. All top 5 market gilts and barrows from the previous show and today's show. Please be making their way to the showroom. Trent Adams, Piper Anderson, Ross Dalton, Kennedy Neal, Ross Dalton again, Rylan Leonard, Kennedy Neal, Gracie Zoe, Riker Neal, and Sadie Wilson. Please be making your way to the showroom.
I'm not going to waste much time. It's been an excellent 2 days of hog show. I enjoy coming back and sorting through your excellent high-quality hogs, and more importantly, working with awesome young people out here. It's been an awesome day, and like I said last year, not to take away from anybody's win, but 3 years from now, people are going to have to look up who won today's show, and 5 years from now, I guarantee you no one's going to remember, but they do remember which kids walked around the fair and outside of the show ring with class and had grace. Whether you're a winner or a loser, I think being a 4-H and FFA member with character and high character at that is something that's the most important to get out of this project. So if you win, congratulations, you earned it. You have an awesome pig and you're great at your project. But remember that you were defined outside of the show ring, not only by your accolades here, but what you can do outside of it as a person as well. With that being said, I live in kind of a crazy state. We're constantly worried about what's going to happen with the future. I can tell you that liking and sharing something on Facebook is not going to save our country. So I do ask that you guys do get registered to vote and vote like your children's future depends on it, because it absolutely does. With that being said, I'm going to put down the mic and go select your Grand Reserve and top 5 overall. It's been an awesome show, and that Barrow show is really, really tough. Let's go ahead and give these kiddos a huge round of applause. And I'll go select your top 5.
Congratulations to your Supreme Overall Market Hog, Rylan Leonard. And congratulations to your Reserve Supreme Overall Market Hog, Kenley Neal. Those awards were sponsored by Merchants Bank Georgetown and John Wood. Thank you.
Never has one, has it?
Congratulations to your 3rd overall market hog, Gracie Zoe. Sponsored by Jim Bunny Press. And congratulations to your 4th overall market hog, Supreme Market Hog, Riker Neal. Sponsored by Larry and Jennifer. And congratulations to your 5th overall market hog, Trinity Adams. Sponsored by Brown County. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for attending our Market Barrow show today. We hope you all have a great rest of your fair, and we want to once again thank our trophy winners: Georgetown Marble and Granite, Georgetown Buffet, Jeff Century Trucker, Genesis Home Care, Jim and Bonnie Chris, Haynesville Coal and Feed, Carrier Farm Supply, Sykes Auto Parts, Brown County Vet Service, Daily Farms, Dalton Family Showbiz, Block Cody Venue, Press Farms, Randy and Laura Huntsman, Ross Hall, and Scott and Stephanie Willie, Logan Kirker and Georgetown Marble and Granite, Vince and Rotary, Dennis and Joyce and Dalton, Randy and Laura Huntsman, Merchants Bank Georgetown, John Murray Insurance, and Bonnie Press, Larry and Dylan